Diving into the world of tournament data today, and yes, Goblins have finally found a way to succeed out here, and it looks like the next evolution in the Burning Bamboo Sword deck has been discovered. Make sure you guys smash the living crap out of that subscribe button so you guys don't miss out on more honest content. So we're starting off here with the Stray Cat Cup here. And of course, somehow Purely has managed to win the Stray Cat Cup. I have no idea in what world that was actually possible, but OCG Purely is absolutely disgusting, especially when you get to play triple leap in your deck. And yeah, the draw power is a little bit more restricted, but being able to very easily make the Nor is the thing that definitely tends to annoy people about this. Also the fact that, you know, the OCG still has the power of Red Reboot on their side. I don't know what else to tell you. The Cat in the Hat deck scares me. And the fact that they get more utility asset options too, man. Like, the Princess Sprite, the ability to make the Assembled Robin. Like, this deck is just pure insanity for the little stupid things that you get access to. And then, once again, I mean, I see Red Reboot back here. And I have to cry about the insanity that is to ensue with this list. Okay, next up here we have our Goblin deck. Now, I think that this is actually extremely cool because you do get to see the tour guides, you get to see the Tsuchinokos and stuff working in here as well with the Speedroid stuff. So you are able to do this rank 3 package to kind of make sure that you can punish the opponent. Now, the big things I see this deck can actually make. I see that we do have access to the Utopic Future Draco in here, which, let's be honest here for a second, Utopic Future Draco is a really strong boss monster, and its entire purpose is to basically punish the opponent. Alright, and we also get access to the Exceed Armor stuff as well, which means you're going to start getting to climb up and then setting the little interactions and be able to exceed during your opponent's turn. So you also have some very extremely powerful defensive options with this. But this is actually the first Goblin deck that we have seen have success out of the OCG. So I'm not even surprised to see that this had a form of success. So extremely cool to see. And of course, out of the same tournament for the Stray Cat Cup, we had Rika Son Avalon getting the chance to kind of do its thing out here. And I mean, this is going to be very similar to how the TCG plays the deck. You see, of course, Sunseed Loki there. Go ahead and you start climbing on up through the ranks. Though, what's interesting to note is they did have access at the time of this event, obviously with the Goblin cards. They could have played the Aromage support, all right? Like, they had full access to that, which tells me that this duelist opted not to want to try out those cards or didn't believe that they were going to add anything really to the strategy. So that's a very interesting takeaway from this. You know, while you're looking at those new cards, you're like, hey, you know, like, these seem like these are really good. And I mean, they do feel like they are extremely good cards, but this duelist just opted to not do it. So that is your Stray Cat Cup with Goblins finding a way to overcome the odds. Now we move on in to the 23rd Suoro Championship here. And, oh man, you know, I love seeing Fire Kings. I think this deck has found some very interesting ways to kind of be the meta contender in the room that maybe people needed it to be. You know, kind of the hero that you wanted to see out here. Now, the fact that, obviously, you know, we do get access to the new Prisoner Princess, Link 3, it has turned Fire Kings into a lot more consistent of a metagame pressure point to make sure that, you know, you do your thing. Also, you know, once the TCG gets this, you'll also be able to kind of see how this deck evolves kind of going forward here. You do see Am the Whale down there being one of those cards that we recently were just talking about that you wanted to keep an eye on. So overall, this looks amazing. I love the way that this deck definitely plays, and for 3 structure decks plus a little bit of extra deck stuff, you're going to have a potential tier 1 deck handed to you. Alright, we also have OCG Rescue Ace. You know, the fact that the OCG has been arguing whether or not, you know, do we play the Auroradon stuff in this build, or do we just gut it from the deck? Well, it feels like at this point in time that their general consensus is just gut it. Now, because this deck is basically one of the decks that does get to play the Prisoner Princess, gotta love those Link 3 fire monsters that can revive, you can start setting up more pressure on your opponent. I also see that we are playing the Doolittle Chimera in here as well. That's kind of cute. If your opponent does find a way to kind of answer your board, just go ahead and do things with the Doolittle. Like, What do you expect them to do at this point in time? To be honest with you, looking at the rest of this deck, it's not all that different from the pile of cards that we have going on here in the TCG. And remember, people tell us that the TCG and the OCG, no. They are different places after all. Remember that. All right, our third place list out of this event was actually Pendulums. Now, keep in mind that you can thank the power of good old Electromite for still allowing this deck kind of do its thing. We have double Dark Worm, man, one Wings of Light. I see, for whatever purpose that the rest of this deck has going for it. I mean, we are playing Zark in here. Yeah, the dream of being able to actually pull that off. Side deck looks pretty standard for kind of punishing the meta. You don't really... You do have to play Exceed Encore because, honestly, the Purely deck is as scary in the OCG as it is in the TCG, minus a couple of draw cards, honestly. But that's fine, all right? That's not that big of a deal in terms of big metagame differences. But this is what the OCG has to work with for Pendulums. I'm not all that surprised. A lot of the combo lines tend to feel the same, and I actually think that that's kind of nice. Out of this event, we had this is called the Sinful Spoils Infernoble deck, but let's call this what this is. This is a new level of degeneracy playing the Broken Bamboo Sword package. Now, with this Broken Bamboo Sword package, you're getting the ability to skip your opponent's main phase 1, which means you could be setting up Amble Whales. You're getting to play all the degeneracy of the Fire package because you're stripping it down to the Warrior Toolbox. Basically, I mean, Sublimation plus Squeak Knight is a sold, which is full combo, and then you just kind of tear through the rest of it. I mean, you have so many Broken Bamboo Sword equips in this deck that it's actually kind of crazy to me that this hadn't been figured out sooner. All right, and I don't see anything in here that is illegal. Minus, maybe TCG gets to play more crossouts. So be ready to see some real toxic stuff with this. And that wraps up the Suoro Championship. And the last event we actually have for you here is the 6th 7-Star Cup. And I mean, starting off here, I mean, you get Rescue Ace right off the bat here. Once again, sporting off Amble Whale to the amount of people that are like, no, Robbie, I don't think decks actually are playing Amble Whale. How many lists have you now seen at this point in time that are playing the Ring 4 because of the Link 3? It's just free Link fodder. Like, that's all it is. You don't even have to make it if you want to. And then I see we are playing the one Doomsday Star. I like how the OCG just killed the idea of playing Auroradon. Like I said earlier in this video, the Auroradon package was the thing that a lot of people like, this is the thing that carries this deck. It doesn't really look that way anymore. Honestly, if anything, I'm getting the vibe that it's kind of garbage at this point in time. The Diabellstar package just tends to make everything a lot more consistent, and the Link 3 just helps the deck crazily. Oh, hey, somebody decided to bring the remains of Branded Desia to the table. Now remember, for whatever reason, the OCG only has one Branded Fusion. Meanwhile, the TCG looks at this package and goes, this is garbage. I also see that we are citing the Gimmick Puppet down there. Gotta love being able to hand that to your opponent and laugh, but, it's okay. I mean, they still have Expulsion. Meanwhile, the TCG, we paid for our sins of how crazy Expulsion was. And they don't even bother to main deck the Gimmick Puppet. But I mean, with only one copy of Branded Fusion, if something ends up happening to it, it doesn't really feel like it's going to get the chance to actually get off the ground. So that's something major that you're going to have to consider out here is, unfortunately, if you get cut off, you have a lot more issues trying to recover in the OCG side of things. But, they've somehow still managed to make this work, and I'm still genuinely impressed. And our last list out of this is actually a Sprite Nimble Tri-Brigade package. Now, I mean, Sprite Blue and Sprite Jet are limited there, which is still kind of crazy to me that, they've gone through such critical limitations, but Gigantic Sprite is still kind of free to do things. Now, keep in mind, they do now have the Meow Grenade as well, which definitely helps this deck out immensely. You gotta love free little Cyberse level 2 extenders that you just, as long as you have, the Link 2 for something, it's a free extender / popping as long as you have a Cyberse. So, a lot of things to consider there. So that should wrap up for these interesting little tournaments. What do you guys think? Please leave a comment down below. Tell me what you guys think. I'll see your beautiful faces back here later in the day, guys. Peace out. Patrons, thank you.
Thank you so much for watching. Check out these other videos.